All right, everybody, welcome back live at Drew's house. Another edition. Hope everybody is doing well. We have a return guest. It's been a little while, but we're talking about Newburyport field hockey today with Jessica Philbrick. How are you, Jess?
I'm good. How about you?
Good. Long time no see. I see you're in the classroom still.
Oh, yes. I know you can see my whiteboard behind me. Sorry about that.
Oh, yeah. What are we studying?
I teach science in 7th grade, so
Nice.
talking about graphs and stuff. Yeah.
Oh, very exciting. Sounds great. Field hockey team. Well, first of all, how are you doing? We had an injury with you. Are you doing okay?
Yeah, I'm doing okay.
Was it a field hockey injury? Or?
No. Wasn't.
Okay. And then we have to say congratulations to you, newly married and all that stuff since the last time we talked. So fantastic.
Yeah, thank you.
All right. It's been a busy year. Tell us a little bit about the Newburyport field hockey squad this year. How we doing? What's the? I mean, I hear your girls are like ready and thrilled to be coming out of a pandemic. So what's this all been like?
Yeah. So this season has been pretty exciting. From last season, we were doing 7v7 for field hockey last year because of COVID restrictions, and this year we're playing 11v11 again. So it's been nice to be playing the field hockey that all of us on the team and myself included really prefer to play. So it's nice to have more players on the field. And this season we've been doing pretty well. Right now our record is 3-6-3. So it's not where we would love to be, but we're doing okay in terms of in terms of the league. We're kind of like right in the midline of the league for our record. But because our schedule is so strong, we've been seeing like the power rankings coming out. So this year the MIA is doing like a different format for playoffs. And every week there's like power rankings that are released based on your schedule strengths and like how you like the scores of your games and how you're doing and stuff. And right now we're ranked 11th out of the Division III field hockey teams. So that's pretty cool to be 8.
What's the take me back a little bit to the 7v7 in last year? That must have been kind of a pain trying to learn new rules and deal with all the whatever else you were dealing with. What was that like?
Yeah, for us last season, we had a really strong season last year. We ended up winning the Cal, so that was thanks to a lot of our players on our team were really strong. We had 4 really talented seniors that graduated that really helped us out last season. So 7v7 for us last year, I thought was going to be really challenging and frustrating, and it ended up being it kind of helped us, I think, in the end, because we had such strong players as compared to the rest of the Cal. And so strong in the sense of very skillful and also very, very fit. So like our endurance was really, I think, much better than most of the teams we played. So we were able to just like outrun everybody. And also everyone was wearing masks last season. So I just felt like we were in shape, and it really showed on the field last season. This season, I think we're in shape this season too. It's just we're a bit younger this year, players, in terms of like playing time at the varsity level. We're younger. So we're not necessarily like younger team age-wise, but because we had only 6 field players playing last year on the field because of the 7v7 format, and losing those 4 seniors who were pretty integral members of our team. A lot of my players this year haven't played as much as a normal, sophomore or junior on a varsity level would have maybe played because of last year's format. I don't know if that makes sense.
No, I get you. That makes sense. What's the, is it easier coaching 11-11 just because you have more room roster-wise, I would imagine? Or?
I prefer V11 because as a coach at the varsity level, a large part of me always wants to win games and put my best players in at all times and give them as much time as possible. But I also want to make sure that I'm, allowing my younger players to kind of hone their skills and develop confidence on the field and get chances to play that don't just feel like they're getting put in when we're winning by 4 goals and they only get a couple minutes on the field or something. So I prefer 11v11 because it gives me more opportunities to get all of my players in and give them more chances to, feel like they get opportunities to show off their skills.
Gotcha. Every like student I talk to, or even teachers, it seems really, I'm not sure, definitely students are just like never been so excited to get back into the classroom and then get back on the field. Have you noticed that? Just a super enthusiasm to be back in person?
Yeah, I think the my team, at least, I think has been really excited just to feel like things are getting back to normal. And, especially at the start of the year, this season with like preseason stuff, felt really nice to be coming together. Obviously we were outside, not having to wear masks, because that's what the rules are at this point. And it felt more like real sports again. And I think field hockey has been a great place for the team, but also myself to just, feel like it's our kind of time to do something that feels like, 2 years ago before COVID started, just more what we're used to, I guess.
Yeah. Is team building easier? Like, well, I can imagine with masks and distancing, like, I don't know, were you able to work around that okay? Or was that difficult last year?
Yeah, that was difficult. So last year we weren't able to do a lot of the things that as a team and program we've done in the past. We weren't able to do like our annual fundraiser last year. We weren't able to do, every season we do the varsity field hockey team, which this started long before I was a coach for Newburyport, but we do this thing called Destination Unknown. It's a weekend that's like kind of planned by the senior parents, and they basically like take the team to a bunch of different things and they don't know where they're going. So it's a really fun weekend for the team to kind of bond, but also just do stuff that's like, like a surprise for each place that they go to. It's just ends up being a fun weekend. So this year we did kind of a shortened version of it just to make sure we were still pretty safe with COVID. But, we went out to breakfast somewhere. We went to a field hockey game together, a college game. They went to goat yoga, which was funny. I didn't go to that part, but I'm kind of sad I didn't yoga. They said that was hilarious. And they went to zip lining up, I think at Gunstock. So they did like a kind of a combination of like food, field hockey, fun, and like, something that kind of pushes them out of their comfort zone. So it's good.
The off the field events have gotten a lot more intense since I was in high school. My goodness.
Yeah, I know. I'm kind of jealous because my school didn't get to do anything like that. But so yeah, and they're doing more like pasta party type things that most high school teams, I'm guessing, are doing this year again, but that kind of were put on pause last year. So yeah.
Wow. Well, very, very exciting. That's interesting. Zip lining, really?
Yeah.
So what is the biggest, obviously state tournament rules are back to normal this year, like 500 gets you into a state tournament. Is that right?
So the way the format is now, I think it's the top 32 teams from each division will be in the playoffs. And you basically, as I understand it, it's just, the first ranking team plays number 32, second plays 31, and so on. So could really be playing against anybody in the state, which is kind of cool, because before that it was really separated out by areas of the state.
Gotcha. That's different, right?
Yeah. So yeah, it'll be interesting. So.
All right, very good. What's the has it been big having leaders here? I mean, we're still in a pandemic. Doesn't feel quite the same as last year, but has it been really important having like great captains and all that, I would imagine?
Oh yeah, it's super important to have really good leadership on your team. So I'm lucky in that I have 3 really awesome captains, and I also have a really strong senior class in general. So besides just my 3 captains, I have some really awesome seniors. So all of them really have helped, just keep the team kind of organized and aware of things that are happening. And they're just, really great communicators and all that. So yeah, my captains, 2 of my captains are seniors, Megan Murray and Emily Fuller, who have been on the team for, I think, 3 seasons, both of them. And then I have a junior captain as well. Her name's Lily Ragusa, and she's an awesome captain and player as well.
I had a couple of them on, I think, earlier in the season, maybe before they started. And they seem to all love you very much. You're clearly a player's coach, which is nice. But I wonder, like, when you go through these like years, like a pandemic, I wonder, do they like, have you had to answer some questions, like frustration questions about just like real life stuff with them, or being one of the younger coaches, I'd imagine some of that probably happens.
Um, you mean just like feeling like they can't do stuff? Yeah,
Yeah.
look, they've mentioned some frustrations that, made me a little sad for them. Like, they were really nervous last year. They didn't think they would be able to have like normal senior events and, things like homecoming or prom or activities like that, that I think most people, I think most people who liked high school probably look back and think that those were like, some of your more memorable moments in high school. And I think that was a really sad thing for them last year. And I think even coming into this year, they were really anxious about those things. Like they were really hoping that they'd be able to have them. And it seems like this year, I'm hoping that they'll be able to have all of their normal, expected events that they've had in years past. So, because those are like things that when you're younger, like a freshman, a sophomore, a junior, you like see the older kids getting to do those. And you have this like, oh, that's going to be so fun when we get to that point. And I think for last year's seniors and juniors, they kind of felt like they were missing out on those things a lot. So, and I think last year's seniors, not to talk about them, they're already long gone, but last year's seniors also missed out on that stuff as juniors because we were in quarantine at home. So they kind of got like the double whammy. That group, I think they missed out on a lot. Because junior and senior, like really fun years, I feel.
Yes, exactly. I've heard people say that about, they're young, they'll be fine, they'll get through it, and which is true, they will. But it's tough. I mean, those are big moments in life that you miss out on. So I did feel for them, and it is good. Are there still changes within the school? Like, I mean, what is life like in the classroom? Has it changed from 3 years ago?
Yeah, life in the classroom's a little bit different. I think, wearing the mask all day I'm starting, I'm already used to it, but I'm getting back into it from the summer, and it's kind of frustrating. But once you wear your mask for like a week or so as a teacher or student, I think you're kind of just used to it. It's kind of annoying, but whatever, it is what it is. And then I think just, as a middle school teacher, I think the kids this year, I think what I see is that our student skills are a little bit off. Like, in the last couple of years, we've worked, more on using computers and doing class like in a different way a little bit. So I think some of those things that normally you would see as a typical seventh grader coming into your class would do, they sometimes don't know. And you're like, it almost takes you by surprise a little bit. Trying to think of an example, but right now I can't think of one. There's just things like, where are we? Who is this? That's, today I was joking because one of the kids got up like in the middle of my, very important soliloquy at the beginning of class, just explaining what we're doing, graphing behind me. And he started sharpening his pencil, and I like, paused and like kind of joked with him, like, what is going on? Like when I was in school, if like that happened, if you sharpen your pencil when the teacher was talking, like the moment they're talking, like that'd be a big deal. Like at least knowing that was a really big deal. Like that is a no. So I joked with him, but I'm like, do you not know that? And he's like, I didn't know it was a problem. So it's like those kind of things, I guess maybe they've just like missed the memo of in the last couple of years. So I don't know.
I've heard that a few times. Like a couple of other teachers were telling me too that like, especially at the high school level, they've been so used to doing like the Zoom classes and working online that like sometimes like the idea of like getting to class on time physically like isn't that big of a deal. Like they kind of worked on their own schedule a little bit. It was a little bit looser. You're at home, and like that has become like an issue. Yeah. Maybe have a little more of a college feel to them, like a free campus or something. But no, I mean, that I have this year are really great kids. So I'm happy to have them. I'm happy to have full time in the classroom, because last year in Newburyport we did like the hybrid model where some kids were in the building, some kids were home, some kids were in different days. So it was a lot to manage. So I'm happy to be able to see like all of my students every day and not have to be on a. That's a real plus. I like that. Are you wearing so what's the rule for teachers? Are you wearing a mask all day?
Yeah.
Okay. And the kids do as well?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Oh, okay. And there's no taking it off unless you're in like the cafeteria or something eating lunch or.
Like if you're like taking a drink of water or something, you can take it off for a minute, but put it back on.
Okay, so
Yeah.
kids are fully masked up. All right, very good. So that's, and I think I see different communities all around the state. There's certain politicians or whatever pushing to, let's get rid of the masks, all that stuff. Do kids get, they just used to it? I hear kids don't complain. I don't really know.
Yeah, I mean, the middle school level, they don't really complain. I honestly thought they would complain a lot more about it.
Yeah.
They don't really complain. Last year, it was a non-issue, like whatsoever. I actually think most middle schoolers liked having a mask on. That sounds really sad and awful, but I think they preferred it. But I think since this past summer, I think things loosened up a bit for everybody and people are feeling really comfortable and lots of people are vaccinated and all that. I think the mask wearing obviously reduced quite a bit this summer. And I think a lot of students and families stopped practicing wearing their masks. So I think there's a different mentality now a little bit. So there are some kids that you ask them to put their mask back on correctly and they kind of roll their eyes at you. It's I'm not asking anything crazy here. Just put your mask on. So
yeah, so you actually do have to enforce that stuff, though. That's a weird.
Yeah. Just once in a while, you have to ask.
Are you recruiting at the you're a middle school teacher? Do you get to recruit field hockey talent a little bit down there?
Oh yeah, I always try to find the athletic kids and I try to encourage them to play. So I usually do some youth service clinics in the spring and in the summer through Newburyport Youth Services. So I always try to find some of them play soccer already. I occasionally try to bring a couple kids over from the dark side, but if they already play soccer, I don't try to do that. That's a joke. But I try to find the athletic kids and have them try it out because a lot of them won't have even, really thought about field hockey or tried it before. And then once they try it, they're like, oh, this is really fun. So it's good to get them trying it, especially because I meet them as 7th graders and then I still know them as 8th graders. So that's kind of 2 years that they can play before they get to the high school. So yes.
You still consider field hockey a little bit lower on the totem pole when it comes to popularity?
Oh yeah, because there's not as much opportunity for it at the very young youth level. So I would love to get more opportunities for young kids with field hockey in town. But I also know that trying to get a 4-year-old to play field hockey, I would love to coach it, but it's also a little more, I think it's probably a little trickier than soccer in some ways. There's a lot more going on with field hockey, danger-wise and all that. So there's probably a reason why not many super young youth programs exist for field hockey, but I wish that it was more at the 3rd, 4th grade level so that kids could try it a little bit earlier than, right when middle school starts and they're thrown into games and they don't really know what they're doing.
Yeah.
Yes, someone was calling me. Sorry.
Oh, there you go. Disappeared for a second. Scary. Yes, everybody plays soccer when they're a kid, right?
Yeah.
And you have to learn how to play with just the one side of the stick in field hockey.
Yes.
I know that you always laugh at me when I say that, but that's that amazes me how talented is it dribbling? Is that or stick handling?
Dribbling. Yeah, no, it's for a few players that play hockey beforehand, they get really mad about it and frustrated, but most people, once you figure out how to dribble, it's not really a big deal.
Who's the goalie this year? I always like to ask. I always think that's a crazy position to play in sports like field hockey and lacrosse with not a lot of padding and very hard balls. Who's your netminder?
It's Jane Metling. She's a junior.
Junior, solid. Yep. Very good. What's been the most rewarding part about coaching this year's version of Newburyport field hockey?
I think this year, the thing that I love about this team is that, they're real, complete, the whole team is just a really great group of players. They are just really good kids. And beyond that, they're also just really hard workers. So they have amazing work ethic and they're always trying to figure out what we should do to practice more and we should try this drill and we should do this. And sometimes even when there's been a rainy practice where I'm all right, we're going to do this thing. And then, we're not going to practice too long today. They'll be okay, so can we go for a run as a team after? And I'm what high school kids do that, I wasn't like that in high school. If there was a rainy day and my coach canceled practice, I was like, yes, this is amazing. So they're just a really great group of players in terms of their work ethic, I think. And really our record is kind of this year. I'm a little sad about it in terms of like, where we're at, but ranking wise, I'm very proud of where we're at. And I think, our team, I think most of our team would be kind of like, oh, there's a few games we really probably should have won or pulled out even a tie with. But I think that still speaks to, we haven't had a great record, but every practice, like my players show up and, their heads aren't down, they're excited, they're pumped up, and they're like, want to figure out how to beat the next team, how to become better. So I think that's like where I'm most proud of them, is just like every day they bring kind of their best foot forward.
This is the post-pandemic kids, I think. Let's go for a run. Let's do stuff as a team. I think that's what we have here.
Yeah. So, yeah, I'm really proud of them and I think too, the beginning of the season, we didn't start out as strong. We needed to like jive a little bit. And I think since the season has progressed, we've come a long way as a team. And I think we're honestly getting better almost every game. There's like aspects that we're doing better and playing better and scoring more and working as a team. So I think the whole season, if you look at it, we've really like kept improving along the way. So I think that's always something to be proud of as a coach, is that at least like you're getting better throughout the season.
Very cool. All right. Well, Jessica Lacey Philbrick from the classroom, probably about to head to the field hockey field. Are you headed there?
I'm going to go meet up with my captains. I got to get them some stuff for, we have a big game tomorrow. We have our senior night game / we're doing our Play for the Cure game as well tomorrow night. So we're doing like a fund. We're asking for donations for breast cancer awareness, and we're recognizing our seniors tomorrow night too. So it's kind of a big game. We have to make some posters and stuff for it. So.
Very nice. Well, very cool. Congratulations on everything in the personal life. Congratulations on the team that you seem to love, and I'm sure finish strong here towards the end of the year. I can't believe we're already at the end of the year. It's crazy.
Yeah, I know. It's wild. I can't believe that October's already.
I know. Halloween's coming. Can I interest you in Halloween candy?
Those look pretty good. Those are some good ones to hand out.
It's way too early for it to be here.
Yeah.
It's going to go before the kids get here, which isn't great. All right, Jess, always a pleasure. Good to talk with you. Good catching up. Good luck to the team the rest of the way, all right?
Thank you. Have a good one. See ya. All
right, Jessica Lacey Philbrook, head coach of Newburyport Clippers field hockey. Very cool. Always good catching up with her. Seems like she's got a good group of kids, and it seems to be the general theme going around here, that the kids are very thrilled to be doing anything, back in the classroom, back on the field, pretty much anything you ask of them these days, as long as it's not virtual and keep me away from my friends, as long as they can be together and be out there doing stuff that's close to normal post-pandemic, even though we're in a pandemic, but you know what I mean? It seems like they're thrilled to do that. So kids never been so happy to go to class and go to practice and run. Geez, interesting. Live at Drew's House, another edition. Thanks, everybody. Bye.